Alright guys, in this video I'm going to be ranking things that will keep you broke if you keep doing them. I'm not going to waste your time with a long intro. I'm just going to get straight into the point and start ranking these things. So the way this is going to work is that on the S tier, I'm going to put all the things that are more likely to keep you broke if you keep doing them. And on the E tier, on the lowest tiers, I'm going to put things that are less likely to keep you broke or not that important. I'm not going to impact your journey to making money that much. So I'm going to be starting with, I don't know, let's start with this one. This is working out. So when it comes to working out, I think it's very important that you work out every day and that you keep your body healthy, because healthy body means healthy mind. And plus, there's tons of research that shows that if you work out consistently and you increase your muscle mass, also increases your brain functions, and it actually makes you smarter in a way. So you're more sharp, you're more focused, and you overall in a better mood, and you feel better overall. So working out will not keep you broke, and it's actually good for you. So I'm gonna put this in the D tier. The only reason why I'm not putting it in the E tier on the last one, it's because if you're just starting out, sometimes you don't really have the time to work out because you're working so much in the business, or there are periods of time where you're working, you have so much to do that you really don't have time to work out. So like myself recently, I've been kind of slacking with my workouts because I've been working so much. But yeah, I'm gonna put it in D tier. So let's move on here. Let's go with, I don't know, with this one. This is Hamza. I'm sure you know who this guy is. And this represents all the self-improvement habits. So like meditation, like waking up in the morning, doing, journaling, doing all this stuff. And I don't think there is something necessarily wrong with these habits. Like self-improvement is good in general for you because you're always trying to improve yourself. But I think that people focus so much on the self-improvement habits, and they focus not as much on the business, like doing things that actually move the needle for the business when it comes to, I don't know, if you have an agency, if you're a growth operator, that things that will actually get you more clients and make you more money. Things like doing outreach, signing more people, learning new skills, like improving your skills in marketing and copywriting and sales, and all these things. So I feel like other people that focus so much on the self-improvement habits don't focus as much on the business side, and they waste a lot of time waking up at 5 a.m. and then spending 2 hours journaling, and then 2 hours fucking meditating, and then cold showers, and doing all this bullshit that actually doesn't do something for your business. So I think I'm gonna put this in A tier, because if you keep doing this and you don't focus as much on the business, it will keep you broke. Like there's no reason in taking cold showers and doing all this stuff if you're not doing things that will bring you more business and will make you more money. So I'm going to put this in A tier. Now let's move on to this one. This one is being in a relationship. So having a girlfriend. So I'm say girlfriend because I think most of the people watching are men on my channel. So, but in general, being in a relationship. So I think that if you're young in your 20s, and it can be like a double-edged sword. Being in a relationship could be a great thing. It could be like the worst thing. I think this is a tricky one, because if you're in a relationship that, with a girlfriend that, wants to spend all of her time with you, needs a lot of attention, and she doesn't really understand that maybe you're trying to start a business and you have a lot to do, and maybe you don't have a lot of time to give her all the attention that she needs, and she's really needy, and she maybe starting arguments with you all the time, she's distracting you. I think in that case, every relationship can be very, very bad for you, and I think you should get out of that relationship if you are in similar situation. And yeah, so I think this is a very tricky one, so I'm gonna put this in, because on the other side, if you're with a girl, if you have a girlfriend that actually supports you and that actually understand that you are on your way up, you're doing something for your future, and this is going to benefit her as well, because if she sticks with you throughout this time, she's going to get all the benefits as well. So if you have a loving girlfriend that understands that you're on a journey and you want to be a businessman and you have all these goals, you're very ambitious, and she supports you and she doesn't stress you, she doesn't take all the energy from you, I think it's good. It's very good to have that kind of relationship. It's very rare, though. It's very rare that you find someone like that. It's not easy. So I think I'm going to put this in B tier, just because, it's, it being young in your 20s, being in a super committed relationship can really distract you from your goals, especially if you're not, with a girlfriend that needs a lot of attention. So you really have to think about that. And yeah, but I'm gonna put this in B tier. So that what we have here. Let's put this one: partying, going out for drinks, spending time doing all the degenerate stuff. I'm gonna put this in S tier. If you keep doing this, it will definitely keep you broke. Like you're spending all your weekends, like Friday, Saturday, Sundays, whatever, going to clubs, chasing women, drinking, smoking, doing drugs, doing all that stuff. It will definitely keep you broke. It will definitely distract you, and it's bad for you anyway. So I'm gonna put this in S tier, obviously. And let's move on. The next one is the shiny object syndrome. Now, the shiny object syndrome is something that means that you're basically chasing the new trends. You're basically chasing the new shiny object. For example, you're changing business model constantly just because now there's a AI trend, and AI is the new thing, and everyone wants to start an AI automation agency or AI agency or something like that. And you change everything that you were doing just because that's the new trend, and you're always chasing the new trend just because you think that you're going to get rich faster or quicker, and that's the get rich quick scheme that is going to make you a millionaire overnight. And I think this is definitely going to keep you broke. So I'm going to put this in S tier because this is the worst thing that you can do. Changing business models, changing ideas all the time. You have to pick one thing and stick to it for as long as you can. And if you have shiny object syndrome, I promise you, you're never going to make it. You're never going to make it. Okay, now the next one we have is this one, like thinking, like the thinker. You're the thinker, thinking way too much. And I think if you spend a lot of time thinking and not enough time taking action, you're definitely gonna stay broke. And you don't want to be the thinker. You don't want to spend all the time thinking and not spending time taking action and actually doing the things. So you have to stop being a thinker and start being a doer and taking action. So I'm gonna put this in A tier just because I think it's not super dramatic. It's not the worst thing, but you definitely have to fix this. You definitely want to stop thinking too much and being a perfectionist and thinking that everything has to be perfect before you start, because it doesn't. You just have to start. So I'm gonna put this in A tier. Now, the next thing that we have on the list, let me see what we got, is listening to the people around you, listening to other people's opinions about you or judgment about what you're doing and what you want to do in life if you want to start a business, especially from people close to you, like friends and family. If you listen to their opinions too much, it's definitely going to be much, much harder to get to your goal, and it's definitely going to keep you broke. So like for example, myself, I had to stop listening to whatever people were listening to me, my mom, my family, my people around me, that I stopped actually sharing my goals with anyone long time ago, because I knew that people just didn't understand what I wanted to do. Just people couldn't understand that I wanted to do certain things because they never did them, and they just couldn't understand that my path was different. And probably if you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to start a business, you probably can relate to this. You share your goal or your ambition with someone close to you, and they tell you, or be realistic, or just do get a job just to be safe, and all this stuff. And I think that it's very dangerous if you listen to other people's opinion, especially the ones close to you, and it's definitely going to keep you broke if you listen to them all the time. So I will put this in not sure, S tier or A tier. I'm going to put this in S tier because people close to you, their judgment and their opinions can actually stop you from achieving your goals and achieving your dreams. A lot of people's dreams have been shattered and broken just because they've listened to people near them, like families and friends, close friends, and they stopped doing what they wanted to do. So I think I'm gonna keep this in S tier. Now, the next thing on the list, let's see, gooning. This is gooning. I don't know what the fuck this guy doing. What is this like? What is this, like a tomato? What the fuck is this? But whatever. This is gooning. This is watching porn and doing all that stuff. Watching porn is definitely bad for you. It's not the worst thing if you're not addicted to it. Like if you do it like a few times a week, 2 or 3 times a week, it's not the worst thing. I'm not like this, other, self-improvement gurus or no fap gurus or whatever that they tell you, stop masturbating, stop doing. I mean, I don't really care if you masturbate or not. To be honest, do whatever you want. it's definitely bad if it's an addiction and you actually, it keeps you away from focusing and you're always thinking about lustful things. You always have these lustful thoughts and you're always thinking about jerking off and gooning and watching porn. If it's that bad, then yeah, of course. But if it's just, a casual thing, you're watching porn maybe once or twice a week and you're just masturbating, you know, not regularly, maybe a few times a week. It's not that bad. So I'm gonna put this in. I don't know. I'm gonna put this in C tier. Let's put it here because it's not terrible. Now let's move on. We got here reading and learning. Obviously, reading and learning it's very important if you want to keep improving yourself and improve your skills, sharpen your skills, become better at what you do. So you always want to learn new things and you constantly want to improve your knowledge in on whatever it is that you're doing. So I think this is very good. So I'm gonna put this in E tier. Next thing we have is eating healthy. This is actually very good. So I'm gonna put this in E tier. Not much to say about this one. You gotta eat healthy. If you're eating junk food all the time, actually bad for you because it fogs your brain and you can't focus. Like, have you ever noticed when you eat like fast food or some stuff like that? After you eat that type of food, you feel tired, you want to sleep, you can't focus that much. So I think eating healthy is definitely important. You gotta be eating healthy, man. Eat real food, eggs, meat, vegetables, and all that stuff. What we have here next is showing off, like showing off and not actually, showing off constantly, trying to make it look like you're someone you're not. And this is definitely going to keep you keep you broke if you keep doing this, just because you're more worried about what other people think of you instead of doing actually the work to become the person that you're pretending to be now. And yeah, if you're always trying to show off or you're always trying to make it look like you made it or something like that, it means that you're not actually spending the time to improve yourself and to actually acquire skills and actually become the better version of yourself. So it would definitely keep you broke. You don't want to just look rich, you want to be rich. So I'm gonna put this in A tier. Yeah, why not? And then lastly, we have watching YouTube videos, watching, gurus online, watching educational content. Now, this is also a tricky one because watching educational content is good if you don't spend all your time watching videos about how to make money. The mistake that a lot of people make is watching constantly videos about how to make money online and never actually trying to make money online. You enter in this loop of constantly watching videos, but you never do the things that you're supposed to do. So in that case, if you're doing that, it's bad for you. But I personally learned a lot from YouTube. All the knowledge that I have, I learned from YouTube, to be honest. So I think YouTube is a great, great way to gain knowledge and to learn how to do things. And if you're using it in a correct way, I think it's great for you. But a lot of people unfortunately make the mistake of just watching videos and never taking action. Like 90% of the people never take action on the videos they watch. They just watch the video, they feel good, they feel like they're being productive because they're watching a video on how to make money online, but they're not doing anything to actually make money online. So in that case, it's bad. So I'm gonna put this in a C tier just because it's kind of in the middle. It's bad and it's good at the same time. It depends how you use it. So yeah, this was my tier list. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. If you would put any of these things in a different position, let me know in the comments. And yeah, that's it. And I'll see you in the next one.